In this video, we are in West Wendover, Nevada to take a look at the Victory Highway and the world's largest mechanical cowboy. The Victory Highway was a coast-to-coast highway from New York to San Francisco and was dedicated to American forces who died in World War I. In West Wendover, they've built a small walking trail and monument to honor the Victory Highway. The monument is located next to Wendover Will and the town's city hall. The Victory Highway Association was created in 1921 with the intention of building a transcontinental highway to honor World War I's war dead. The route was to be marked with a series of bronze eagles placed at every county line, along with a list of people in that county who died in World War I. Unfortunately, because funding for the eagles had to come from private donors, only 6 were made. 3 were placed in Kansas and 3 were placed in California. All 6 of the original eagles still exist, however, though none are in their original places. The eagle here at Wendover is a close approximation of what they look like, but not quite exact. Here is a 1924 photo of the Victory Highway eagle that was placed in Shawnee County, Kansas, to kind of get an idea of what they look like. As I mentioned, the funding really wasn't there to realize their idea of having the eagles at every county line. Then in 1926, the United States adopted the numbered highway system, and most of Victory Highway became US Route 40, and then the Great Depression happened, and there was just no funding for the eagles after that. Now the pavement that we're on is the actual original highway for the Victory Highway and also the Lincoln Highway in this area. It was later moved to the south, so you can see the current highway over there. And they built this kind of walking trail with interpretive signs to remember the Victory Highway. But there's also signs for the California Trail. There's signs for the Lincoln Highway, for the Wendover Air Base, and quite a few informative signs here. It's a really cool little stop to learn about the area's history. I mentioned a sign for the Wendover Field. Wendover Field is where the Enola Gay trained during World War II that later dropped the nuclear bomb on Hiroshima. And here's a look further away from the Victory Highway Monument where you can see a lot more of the old road. You can see it continue on towards the east, across the road off in the distance, and you see the interpretive signs. Like I said, definitely a pretty cool place to stop and spend a few minutes if you find yourself in West Wendover. I mean, you're gonna wanna check out Wendover Will anyways. I think it's the most famous thing in the town. But it's a pretty cool place to stop and spend a few minutes for sure. Easily the most famous resident of West Wendover, Nevada is Wendover Will. He's been around since the 1950s, and he's a true road trip and Nevada icon. Wendover Will was constructed in 1952 and was originally at the Stateline Casino. He was designed by Pat Denner, who was the same person who designed Vegas Vic at the Pioneer Club in Las Vegas. And here are a few plaques that are located on Wendover Will's base. When the Stateline Casino changed ownership, they decided they didn't need Wendover Will anymore, so they donated him to the city of West Wendover, and the city spent $200,000 to restore him and place him in his current location on Wendover Boulevard. In between Wendover Will and the Victory Highway Monument, someone built this little rock garden. Just take one, leave one, share one, keep one, and there's different decorated rocks in here that people have left, and you can I guess exchange your decorated rocks here. And I mentioned the Enola Gay trained at the Wendover Field. About a block away from the Victory Highway Monument, there is a monument to the Enola Gay. Sit there.
And of course, we had to come back at night and check out Wendover Will and his 1,184 feet of neon tubing all lit up. Seeing him at night was really cool, though unfortunately his arm wasn't moving on our visit. I should mention he was put in the Guinness Book of Records for being the world's largest mechanical cowboy in 1991. Well, that's our quick look at Wendover Will and the Victory Highway Monument in West Wendover, Nevada. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up, consider subscribing, and we'll see you next week.